welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 265. What is it, October? We're in October. The big month for games is now, and November. How you guys feeling?
I don't feel like I'm going to buy really anything this season.
No?
No, like Call of Duty, that's about it.
What about Outer Worlds?
We don't have to buy it, right, fellas?
Oh, that's right.
Game Pass, but I'm probably not going to play it, so. That's it.
I would like to play that.
You don't have room for it, so.
I wrote it off when they said it wasn't.
I'm moving my Plex library. Shut the fuck up. I have enough space for that, probably. That's not that big of a game.
Oh, you had like 100 and something left, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just below the Red Dead.
Yeah, it's like
specs.
141.
Yeah. That's Adrian Petty, and that's Matt Lawrence.
Yeah, it is.
Some of the top stories include the Red Dead Redemption PC requirements, as well as the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order PC requirements, which had a bit of a typo on it at first.
Typo or redaction?
Well, that's the question.
It's probably not a typo.
Yeah.
You don't. The 1, the 3, the 2, and the 6 are pretty far away from each other on that keyboard.
Yeah. But that is not influencing my decision to upgrade to 32 gigs of RAM.
I have a feeling it is. I don't believe. I'm
getting
you.
that for my PlayStation anyway. I'm not going to buy it on PC, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Part of me doesn't believe you, but
Maybe subconsciously. Maybe
that's probably what it is.
in there. We also have PS5 details, and it's actually named PlayStation 5 officially now.
Oh wow, shocking!
As well as the info on the new controller, which they have not said is a DualShock 5. But I wonder if that's because it's not using traditional rumble anymore. What are you guys doing? What's new? What are you playing? Matt, you said you don't have any new games, I guess, right? Because you haven't bought anything new yet.
I haven't bought anything new. I'm probably going to buy Call of Duty. I'm trying to figure out what platform, considering it's cross anyway.
It's crossplay, yeah.
So which is nice because I was going to buy it for both, Xbox and whatever, and what do you call it, PS4. I don't know. I'm thinking I want to try AC Origins soon, but I'm too bogged down with like other like random crap I've been playing.
What other AC games have you not played, or like would that be the next if you're following the?
No, I haven't beaten Unity, and I haven't played at all.
Okay,
Syndicate.
So you haven't beaten Black Flag either, technically.
I'm not playing.
You've
that
played
game
it,
again.
but not.
I'm not playing that game again.
Okay.
I lost my fucking save 3 times.
So you're not going to go through them in production order anymore. You're just
Not
going
anymore,
to jump.
yeah.
Okay. So
I feel bad because you probably should have bought it for PS4.
Well, regardless of
the
which,
game
my
looked
PS4
fantastic.
shouldn't have also lost the save 3 times.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Considering it wasn't like my manual saving that like screwed it up. It was literally just like
which one is this?
Black Flag. I lost my save 3 times.
You want me to give you my save? I'll just give it to you, and then you can just like
It's probably not
load
worth
it in, and then just go do the final part. And then you're like, hey.
It's probably not worth it at this point.
At this point, considering like Origins and
Did you know the
Odyssey are totally
Did you know the
different.
360? You can give another user your save file.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
You could do it on
It is a bit
PS3. But
ridiculous,
you could do it on
isn't it? It is
PS3 as long as it
ridiculous.
wasn't labeled under your.
And that's exactly what Nintendo was scared of, and that's why they their whole online restriction.
Why would
shit.
they be like scared of that? Like, oh no, like
No,
someone's
they
gonna
just
give each other the last
they
level.
don't they don't like people cheating at games like by cheesing saves and stuff like that. But it's like if it's a single player game, fuck off Nintendo.
Like, who
they're only
cares?
hurting themselves. Like, what do you care?
Yeah, like who the fuck cares?
AC Origins was a lot like Odyssey, but I didn't spend as much time with it. I'm not sure why.
I don't know. Probably just you like the Greek stuff better. Probably.
I do have a fascination with ancient Greece.
So like that'd be it.
I guess, yeah.
Because I like ancient Egyptian stuff, so I might spend more time on there.
There is a rumor that the next AC game is going to be in ancient Rome, but it doesn't really make sense because Rome is part of the journey in.
Although that'd be similar to to Brotherhood.
But I mean, that's pretty far apart. Ancient Rome to the Renaissance.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like a
that's a
difference of like
pretty
fucking
long-
a couple thousand years.
No, but I'm not talking about in terms of history. I'm talking about like in terms of the fact that it wasn't a big like era jump. Yeah.
Well, in Origins, you're not just in Egypt. You go into parts of Rome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's similar like buildings and structures and stuff.
Right.
There's a really nice part. I think it was up north more. Really nice part of the map that's kind of end game stuff.
But currently I've been playing like Red Dead Online, which is like bogging me down.
Yeah.
Been playing like Far Cry here and there, just whenever Marty wants to jump on. But like I don't know, I've just been like sort of doing piecemeal lately.
Gears 3.
Been doing Gears 3 on
We
stream.
streamed
Yeah.
that last Wednesday.
Yeah. We're getting there. I think we're halfway through, probably.
I would hope so. Although we're on Act 3, or do we get to Act 4?
Are you
We're on Act 4, yeah.
Are you playing it on a 360 or are you backwards compatible?
Backwards
Okay,
compatible, yeah.
so you're using-
Definitely.
Cool.
You know that the new Xbox is going to have all the way back to Xbox games.
That's pretty good.
So like they're just like now making it so that an Xbox is an Xbox.
Good. As it should be.
But they're not going to redeem you the titles, are they?
Redeem me the titles.
Well, I guess they would. If you buy a 360 game on the Xbox One,
Yeah.
that's going to be on your next Xbox.
You have to use the disc then probably. So like right now, if I want to play Red Dead, the original, Dead 1,
but you can buy 360 games on Xbox One, right?
You could do that
like
digitally. You would have to have the digital thing, but
Right.
you like right now on the Xbox One, you can use an Xbox 360 or Xbox original disc.
Just to authenticate it.
But it doesn't make it digital.
Right.
It makes it just so that you have to use the disc like you would traditionally.
Right. Can you buy original Xbox games on?
Yes.
on
You can. It's not. They don't make it easy though. Like they're very difficult to find in
Fusion Frenzies on Game Pass.
Yeah. They find it very difficult. They make it very difficult to like track those down.
They need a Microsoft Store overhaul, 100%. They've added so much to it, and like it hasn't really changed since like beginning of Windows 10.
It kind of goes against my own philosophy, but I almost feel like they need two separate stores. They need a very game dedicated store, like a Xbox, like a PC game, Xbox game dedicated store, and then they need a separate store for just
They could just have one big tab, like literally just like here's your Microsoft Store, or click the game tab.
But they're technically
the Xbox tab.
but there technically is like a game. Like they have that,
but it's very clunky. Like
It does-
you're saying,
it-
it's hard to find
It-
fucking
it
titles and
doesn't-
stuff. Like
it
it's a pain in
doesn't
the ass.
feel good navigating
Not at all.
ever. Like it always feels like shit.
I tried to download. I have Battlefront 2, and like we went to go play that the other day with one of my buddies, and like I wanted to download it, and I have the digital version, but I couldn't find it in the store. I kept typing Battlefront 2, and the other one kept showing up. I had to like sift through shit to find it. It's like I'm typing the damn thing in.
You know what? I figure out how to do that. You're on the Xbox One?
Yeah.
So what I do is I go to even searching on the Windows 10 Store app is not great. Finding like redeeming an Xbox Live Gold title on PC was a pain in the ass. So what I do now is you Google or Bing your title, Games for Gold. It will take you to the web page for the Microsoft, like the Xbox.ca store. As soon as you want to go purchase it, it will then just kick you over to the Windows 10 app with the appropriate thing. Like it takes you right to it. Yeah. Like I've had to cheese my way just to redeem free games.
So weird.
It's very weird. But you know me, I'm not going to let them stop me from redeeming free stuff.
Although on the Xbox One, you can just go over to like your games and apps, and it'll show you the
Yeah.
Xbox Live games.
I unfortunately
like, right
don't.
there.
I don't have that
Yeah.
privilege.
Do you find this weird in the search for stores? I find this sometimes on like the Apple services, sometimes on my Xbox, sometimes on my PlayStation. Where let's say you're typing in Battlefront, and you type in BA, right? And it'll show you a list of BA titles, but then it'll like stop, and Battlefront won't be there in the list at all. And you had to keep typing BATTLE, until it finally shows up.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I haven't noticed it. But again, I'm assuming this is like a place that you've probably seen this on the
I'm saying I've
PlayStation.
seen that in multiple stores.
Yeah.
Just somehow how the search works, it won't give you every BA title. It'll like guess and say, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And you have to keep typing it to tell it that you're looking for Battlefront.
Yeah, it almost seems to like look for the trendy ones or something. There's another criteria that's like we don't see.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's annoying, but anyway. You and I played some more Gears 5. Getting a big chunk out of that done.
Was it a big chunk? Oh yeah,
That's a
we did
decent
go to
chunk.
chapter 3. Yeah, that was a rough.
We're in the next like open world area.
Yeah, it's not open world. It's like open world asterisks. There's a fine print in there. Because once you leave that area, you're never coming back.
They call it something though. It's like expanded linear or something like that.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah. We were getting destroyed by those lightning storms.
Again, that's another thing we had to cheese our way through. Fuck, that was annoying. So yeah, we played Gears. I started Hollow Knight, 2D Metroidvania.
I thought you've played that before. No.
That was Dead Cells.
What's the other one I'm thinking of though? There's always
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight,
You're
yeah.
always playing one of these games.
Yeah, Shovel Knight is different. Hollow Knight is different than that. So it's okay. It's not the best. I'm 3 or 4 hours in, and I've hit the point where I'm finding progression to be, and I find it to be very punishing. Like I'm at a difficulty where I'm not appropriately matched up, and I'm finding it to be a lot of trial and error. And I'm like one boss, I kept on dying over and over again. It took me all the way there, and I had to like just zigzag my way all the way back, and finally I had to fucking beat it. But it's like, okay, now I have to like save my progress, so I need to go find a bench to sit down on and fucking save my game. And so right now I'm at a very dull point, and I hope that I find there's a hump to make me keep going. But that's where I'm at with that. What else have I played? Oh, Magic the Gathering, and I am still playing Hearthstone. But I guess you put that story.
That story's in here. Yeah.
Okay, so I will talk about that when we get to that story. Other than that, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
We all saw Joker.
Oh, we did see the Joker.
I saw it 3 times already.
Oh my god!
What the
wow.
fuck, Matt?
Wow.
Yeah.
Was the popcorn delicious all 3 times?
Yeah, actually.
Actually, God. Yeah.
You give it a 9. You told me.
Yeah, 9, yeah. 9 out of 10.
No,
Really?
Yeah, I
I mean,
loved it. Yeah.
Okay. So
it's fair because a lot of people are giving this a lot of. IGN gave it a 10.
Oh, Jesus
Really?
Christ.
There's a lot of critics who like love it, and a lot of critics who are kind of like questioning the
It's-
morality of it all.
Is this a spoiler time?
The morality. I don't have a problem with morality.
Spoiler alert.
Sure, yeah, go spoiler. Skip ahead 3 minutes. I don't have a problem with the morality of it, but it's because that's what some of the critics were arguing about. It's like it's just a good movie. Like it's not a masterpiece by any means. It's competent. It does its job. But I can't remember who said it. It was you or Marty, or whatever. But you guys said after we saw, you're like, everything that you thought would happen in that movie happens exactly the way it is. Like you're never caught off guard. You're never surprised or anything. You're just like, oh, okay, yeah. That's it. And
I think I liked it more because I didn't see the trailer.
If I had to give it a number system out of your 10, I would give it an 8-2.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Me and Marty are at 7s.
7 on the dot?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are kind of low there, yeah.
Yeah, because I was, and maybe it was because I watched the trailer and there was like hype around this movie. I heard it got an 8-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival.
You're scratching your head there. You're like, what?
My expectations were so high, and when I went and saw it, I was like, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
And I think it lowered my score to a 7. Funnily enough, though, the director said a lot of the influence came from Taxi Driver, which me and Matt are seeing on Sunday. So that'll be fun.
Because I think De Niro was miscast.
De Niro, I think, was miscast. Yeah.
I didn't think so. I thought he was pretty good.
But when he's doing like he does like this little thing, he just didn't. I
doesn't
didn't buy him being the entertainer.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
as like I don't know how much late night how much late night did you absorb in your growing up, Matt? Or
I've never seen a full episode.
Okay, so like
You saw a great break though.
I saw a great break. Yeah,
like just kind of growing up and watching Leno and Letterman and old stuff of Carson and even new stuff like Seth Meyers or whoever. It's like I cannot picture like De Niro did not do a good job executing a late night talk show host. Like I did not buy it at all.
He was fine.
He's fine.
They definitely went for a Carson-esque look. Even the set was like Carson looking. The
drapes.
The drapes were like the same drapes that Carson had. So they felt like they were trying to go for that Carson vibe, but he didn't. He couldn't pull it off. I don't think.
And like I'm still trying to. I've been trying to think. I've been thinking about this since then. Like, who could have been in that role?
Although funny that he's in it because he's in Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of an homage to Taxi Driver. So.
Remember how you guys were saying that? I don't know if it was both you guys, but maybe just you and Marty. You were saying that you didn't like how Thomas Wayne punched him.
Well, Marty had mentioned that he didn't like that they made, or I'm not sure even if he said like or dislike, but he said, why did they make Thomas Wayne an asshole?
It's a fake scene.
That's a fake scene.
That's a fake scene.
But how do you?
You can tell a scene is fake if he's happy throughout the scene, and he was happy.
I don't
throughout the entire
know
scene.
if I
No,
subscribe to that.
No, but you can
theory.
tell that because there's a point where he gets punched in the face, and then he's bleeding, and he's bleeding enough that when he puts his head down immediately, there's like quite a bit of blood on the sink, and then it cuts to him in his kitchen, and he's leaning over the counter in the same way, and it zooms in on his face, and his face is not injured. And then he's so hot and red hot from imagining this that he goes into the fridge.
Okay, maybe, but
That's a fake scene.
I don't.
That's not a real.
Do you think any scene with Thomas Wayne was fake?
It is. Any scene where he's happy is fake. And all the ones with his girlfriend are confirmed. Even the one where he's depressed.
Wait, when you use the word confirmed.
Okay, it's confirmed because remember how there's a point where
Wait, he's saying confirmed means officially.
No.
I'll
But you know my philosophy on that. I'm also not going to buy that.
Correct.
No,
Yes,
hang on a minute
yes.
here. There's that part where it shows. There's that part where it shows his girlfriend disappearing in the scenes.
Yes.
He's happy in all of them, with the exception of one. But that's the only scene in which she leaves, and then he goes and he sees his clip on the thing. Any scene that she affects and he's happy in, she disappears.
My argument would be that it shows you which scenes were fake,
Yeah,
and it doesn't show you that.
no, that scene is fake. His face isn't injured.
But that's.
He got clocked in the nose, and his face wasn't injured,
Yeah.
which means he didn't get hurt. Which means he wasn't there.
Not
So
necessarily.
here's the thing though. If you were trying to pitch this to me, I would have to rewatch it again with the intent of looking out for this stuff.
Yes,
because
yeah, I agree.
I can't recall most of the actual.
Well, there's even at the end, right? You know the end where he's like standing on the car. Even there, he's not smiling. He has to draw a smile and blood on himself. Any scene where he is happy throughout the scene is not a real scene.
I think the problem with the Thomas Wayne stuff too, that whether that's real or not, but in that universe, Thomas Wayne and the Waynes were supposed to be like the good rich people.
Yeah.
Amongst all the other corrupt rich people in Gotham, right? And so
Yeah.
it's like this movie just wanted to drag him into the dirt with the rest of them too, just because the movie has like this kind of.
And we only ever see the news through Joker's eyes.
Yeah.
We don't ever see the news through anyone else's. Although there is like that protest and stuff.
Yeah.
There's also the end. He's I believe now on the third watch, he's laughing at the fact that he orphaned indirectly Bruce.
But how would he know?
Because he's laughing, the counselor says, "What's so funny?" And then it flashes to Bruce's scene, and then it comes back, and he's like, "You wouldn't get it." He would know because it would be on the news. And that's why he's laughing. That's why he's reimagining these events. He's laughing because he's like, all this shit I did orphaned my stepbrother.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's laughing.
I thought you were saying he's laughing at he created Batman.
Not yet.
That's
No,
okay.
he's laughing because he orphaned what he believes is his stepbrother.
Well, now it's all ambiguous, and now I'm angry.
What?
Because I want answers. I don't want.
That is an answer.
Yeah,
I don't want
because Ryan
ambiguity.
wants absolutism in his in
That
film
is
resolution.
you can't get absolutism from someone whose like mind is cracking.
No, that's fine. But I just want. I don't.
That
want,
is absolutism.
I don't want to be questioning what's real and what's fake in that movie.
I promise you.
No,
I
but
promise
you-
you.
No, so you can't. Well, you
No, hang
can't
on,
do
no,
that.
no,
Matt,
I was going
Matt.
to say, I promise you on the second watch,
Yeah.
if you watch for any scene where not when he just smirks.
I
and
don't.
stuff.
I don't subscribe to the happy thing though.
No, but it shows it. It shows the example of it.
I understand, but you're just because he's happy in those scenes that are fake doesn't mean that anytime he's happy, it's a fake scene. Those can be separate.
There's only, as far as I remember right now, off the top, there's only one other scene that he's happy in, and that is the one where he goes to the
Yeah.
to the.
But what I'm saying is you can't also confirm that he's happy because he has mental health issues
Right.
and depression. People who are depressed can act happy but still be depressed.
No, yeah. So
Robin Williams was laughing and having a great time, and he was a depressed person.
there are scenes where he like smirks or like does like a half laugh. A really good example of it is when he goes onto the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before he's on the stage, he's normal, like normal him. He's kind of depressed, just gotta sort of sit there, whatever.
Yeah.
He's not like super happy or anything. He goes up, has his laugh attack, right, during his first stand-up thing. And then it cuts to him actually smiling, and then he quote unquote kills it with everyone, then has a date, then smiles at another Joker flying by, then he comes home and he's back to normal. That scene when he was at home and finds the letter is him normal. That's a real scene. But the date, even the mother didn't believe he had a date. He's even happy when the girlfriend knocks on his door and says, "Were you following me today?"
Right. Although
She wasn't there. That's shown. She
yeah,
disappears.
Yeah.
Any scene that she affects, he's happy in. She's only in one other scene when he's unhappy, when he's sitting beside his mom, and she ends up leaving. It's like the delusion is literally leaving. He was deluded.
Mm-hmm.
He became depressed, and then the delusion leaves him. That's his, and then he even says that. That's my normal. That's just him.
You make a good case, but I can't
They
subscribe to
show it,
No,
man.
I don't care what
They show it.
No, they show
Oh.
it, but that doesn't. But they didn't show that the Thomas Wayne scene was fake.
That's fake.
But they didn't show it.
No, because there's nothing. You can't just like how are you supposed to show it?
You show him in the washroom.
No,
You
how
show
do you
him-
show
I don't know.
a scene of like an absent scene? You can show the absence of a
But this is
person
what, this
in
is
a
what I'm
scene.
saying. If there's no confirmation,
There's no injury.
that's not a
Why
confirmation.
would it zoom in on his face?
That's your speculation. That's not a confirmation.
Why would he go home after being punched in the face, lean on
I
his
don't
counter?
know.
No, hang on a minute.
I don't know,
That's
but you
okay
can't
till
say
there.
it's confirmation because there isn't a sign of an injury.
He got fucking. Imagine
is-
someone
this
being
is-
shot and then they're just like, "Oh, well, Joker is immortal now."
This is a movie. They don't put makeup on. They might have missed it. That scene could have been somewhere else in the
they
movie.
Yeah,
zoomed in
yeah,
on his, they
like-
zoomed in on his face. They
Like,
zoomed in on his goddamn
like
face.
you know, Captain America was just sitting on the bench.
No.
He's-
No, we're not
No.
doing that again. But like,
God, because you know, God forbid you interpret the ending of a movie, guys.
they zoomed in on his
There was
face.
nothing to interpret. That's why.
They zoomed in on his face. Why was he at the same? Why was he in the same position? They even
because
cut
that
between
is
the
an
two-
artistic
Yeah.
movie trait.
Correct. Which means that you would think, oh, he came home and he was hurt. Then it zooms in on his face.
We're way past the 3 minutes.
I know.
That's fine. We zoomed in on his face, and then
Matt, you're allowed to speculate on this.
I don't. It's not
Don't say
speculation.
it's confirmed.
That's it. It's confirmed.
You can't say it's confirmed.
That's confirmed.
You can't.
I'm confirming it.
No. All right.
Hashtag confirmed, everyone.
Christ. This is why I want absolute answers.
They are absolute. That's an
No,
absolute.
see, I don't want absolute answers. I like interpretation. I like.
But you must agree though that he can't say that his.
Oh, I
answer is
agree
absolute.
with you there. But you also can't say that I'm wrong about Captain America.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
I
in-
can.
you're
When
in-
the
you can't.
directors and the writers.
No.
Here we
No.
go.
No.
And the actual
No.
interpretation
No.
of that scene
No.
is that way. You are wrong.
But see that's you're going against your own. You said the interpretation of that scene. Like
way-
you literally said interpretation of that scene.
Physical way you watch it. It only makes sense in one way.
Yes. Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Not your way.
No.
All right. Let's move on.
Oh, if it kills me that you're preaching that philosophy in Man for Joker.
No, because here's what I'm saying.
Actually, that is pretty fair. Actually.
He's speculating. Okay.
Wait, no, wait a second. I'm estimating. I'd say because I actually do have evidence,
But that's still speculation. You can still speculate
Yeah.
on evidence. You're,
which is called an estimation.
Ryan, continue.
you're speculating, okay, on answers.
Okay.
And I'm saying I want an official source
Yeah. Check
to
check my evidence.
tell me. Now, a lot of directors and creators leave it up to interpretation all the time. Fine. But they gave us an answer on the Captain America thing.
They are not the final say, and I've already
They
explained.
are the only say we currently have.
They're not the say though. Like I said, I've explained the post production workflow.
I
The
understand. I understand.
director's cuts because they are the director's final say.
I understand.
Theatrical releases are producer's final say.
But I can only go on the evidence I currently have.
That's
And
great.
Until the producer comes out
That's great.
and says it's otherwise, I have to believe the evidence that I currently have.
And here's the difference, Ryan. You want to believe based off the Rousseau's YouTube comment or interview. Hold on,
Correct.
that
And the writers.
Yes, yeah. You want to believe that? I'm totally okay with you believing it. I have a problem when you tell me that I'm wrong for believing it because it wasn't in the movie.
Because
that
there's
is where
less
you
evidence,
lose me on.
because there's less evidence of your scenario.
I'm talking about if you ignore all comments, ignore everything outside the movie within the framework of the movie. Look at your interpretation and look at my interpretation. There's no one that's more right or wrong than the other.
I would say yes. There's no evidence for your scenario.
The presentation of
The presentation of the movie.
time travel, their framework. That's what I'm saying.
No, but the sensation they want you to have is that Cap stayed in the 40s, lived out his life, and walked back to that park. And then they're like, oh, there's an old man sitting over there.
And that also fits his character.
That is the rawest form of interpretation you can get from that scene.
Yeah, that's fine, and I'm totally support. I'm glad that you think
But
that.
at no other time do we see some Captain America from a third universe come in.
Your thing is the equivalent of saying Joker is actually Batman.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
That's absolutely
Why not? Why couldn't he have went to another timeline? But seriously though, like why couldn't he have gotten out of the hospital and became Batman? Killed Bruce and then impersonated Bruce. No, but that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no,
though.
you know what?
That's
You know what?
ridiculous.
You know what?
though.
You're
We don't have time for this.
absolutely right because there's a DC multiverse in
Christ.
this.
This is why they didn't want to do this in this
Yeah.
comic book movie. Like, fuck me, it just gets too much. Like,
Right. I don't care that you have interpretation of Captain America and Avengers. I understand your point against Matt with the Joker. I have a problem when you're using that philosophy against Matt with the Joker, but then you turn around and use it against me with Avengers. You literally have a double standard there.
No, because Matt built a case on the evidence he sees in the movie.
Yeah.
Yours, I see no evidence of it.
What do you mean?
there is no evidence of it. I would say
No.
That's the difference. That's why I'm accusing you differently.
My evidence is their framework of time travel.
Yeah.
Okay. Before there was a comment, you knew there was something wrong with their presentation.
No. When I was sitting in that theater, I just figured Captain America went back to the 40s.
Okay.
Lived out his life, became an old man.
Okay.
Went to that park because he would know where he was.
Yeah.
And then sat there waiting for them.
Okay. But here's the thing.
That's how I thought it happened. That's what I thought happened.
Yes. But after that and you rewatched it and you thought about it, you realize something doesn't jive here. There's something that doesn't quite line up, right? Like at some point in between one of your multiple, like your third or fourth viewing, and before the Russos opened up their mouth, you knew something wasn't quite right. Correct?
I don't know.
You
What's wrong with that interpretation?
So so my problem is Cap can't go back and live his life with Peggy because that Peggy has lived a different life. We know that. But
we don't.
We don't know that yet.
When you jump, you're creating a fracture, okay? And hold on, so Cap jumps back. He has to go to a split timeline, okay? Like I explained, the pad is just an anchor point.
How do we know it's a split timeline? I thought they all joined together in that big gold one.
That's another interpretation of it.
I'm questioning. I don't actually know.
That's the other thing. That's what I felt when I first watched it as well. Is when they have that big gold timeline.
That's one timeline.
They say that's one timeline, and if you take a stone, and they said the interpretation I got was only if you take a stone out of the timeline
does it then
does it
branch,
branch into a separate.
So
one.
he jumped back into a branch and made it together.
Okay, but guys, we have an entire show coming out in a split timeline.
Yes.
Like we have a Loki show. So there is
Because he took a stone.
Yes. But if you're saying that the stone got put back, that shouldn't exist. Like we have entire shows
it
now.
It depends when he returned the stone.
Okay. So if you're going to go and say
that is a fair point. I don't really understand. Well, wait a second. No, because
if Loki disappears with the stone and then Cap comes back 5 seconds after and returns the stone, there's still a branching timeline. He didn't return the Loki stone.
No,
that's a separate stone.
No, they probably actually had to leave that one. They probably actually scuttled the timeline.
No, he returned. They had all the 5. They had 6 stones at the end. Cap had all 6 stones.
No, yeah, they have all 6 stones. But what they probably did is there is probably a split. They left a split. Loki steals one, but then they have to go back to the 70s or whatever the hell it was to steal another one.
Tony didn't tell him about that then, I guess.
And then they probably not because he probably didn't think much of it. And then that's probably going to be a premise.
Only
in the
Banner
show.
knew that this. Well, and then he dies. Maybe he didn't have time to tell them that.
Oh, because it's such a perfect fucking movie. They're able to tie up all the strings, right?
I never said it was perfect.
I never said that.
But mistakes within the movie making process doesn't mean you have to invent a solution that fits into the movie.
Ryan, one of the bases of filmmaking is leaving up to interpretation for your audience member.
Yes,
there was a time
correct.
when you can leave a movie and say, I interpret it like this, and I interpret it like that. So I get your 21st century mentality of like, I need answers, I need resolution, but there are people who still are willing to leave things up to their imagination. And to me, the lack of clarification says there's more information here. And based on what I see, I can only conclude this. That's it.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with you thinking your way. I have a problem when you tell me that I'm wrong for thinking my way. That is a very conservative way of thinking, I must say.
Oh, here we go, bringing in politics.
No, that's a very scientific way of thinking.
No, it's not a very scientific way.
I disagree with your evidence. Or,
you could
or
you
lack
could
thereof.
you could disagree with it. I have a problem when you tell me that I'm flat out wrong.
I think you're wrong because I don't. You can't build a case on your evidence. That's why I think you're wrong.
I see. Here's the thing, though. You two are the only. I've.
Is anyone else asking the question you asked?
Yeah, people have asked this question that I've asked.
But people think a third Captain America showed up at the end of
No,
the film.
no. People.
But that is what you think.
That's what I think. But people are like the conflict, like the actual questioning of what's happening here is still being asked.
Yes.
And there are still people who don't buy the Rousseau's answers. Like they're
Yes.
like just because Rousseau says, "Oh, this, and this," and people are like, "Oh, okay, yeah, everything's fixed." Like not everyone's buying that.
That's fine.
Yeah. So but like I've also explained my other caps theory, and I've gotten like people are like, actually, that could work. Like people there I've had mixed reviews. Some people say, no, I don't think that works at all. Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, actually that does work. Like it does make sense. So like I don't know why you two have a stick up your butt about Captain America, how that can't be
I
a
have a
thing.
problem with the third one because we've never seen any evidence of that.
What are you talking about? We've seen like 6 Captain Americas in the entire movie. Every jump is a different Captain America.
What?
I disagree with that too.
Every like I said,
Which means then like why are they even trying to fix anything?
Yeah,
Just
then-
like,
the
there goes
Lo-
our timeline.
the
There you
Lo-
go, boys.
the Loki in 2012 New York is not the same Loki in 2013 Asgard. They're not the same one.
Correct, because that branched into a separate time.
Exactly. What I'm saying is if you were to go and literally go to any one of those timelines and then literally unravel it forward or unravel it back, every Captain America in any timeline at any point is not the same Captain America as any other
That doesn't
one.
make any sense.
Yeah, it
because they have a GPS. They have the timeline GPS thing. To
No, you're not.
specifically
you're,
come back to
you're
their
not. You're not
timeline.
understanding what I'm. You're not
Because
understanding what I'm.
then how would they know to jump back to a timeline that is broken?
You're not.
and
You're not
requires
understanding
all
what I'm
the
saying
stones?
though. Is Captain America encountering Captain America in 2012 Asgard is not a fractured timeline. That is just what happened in that timeline. That's just what happened. The Avengers after our Cap disappears, the Avengers will always just have an encounter with a phantom Captain America that they will just never be able to explain, that they'll just never know. And that is just what's going to happen in that timeline. And in that same timeline is one where Loki's going to exist with the Tesseract. That's it. It's not a fractured timeline. They're not saying, hey, we need to repair this, something's not right. That is just what happened.
All right. I will.
That's all I'm saying.
In good faith, I will rescind my "you're wrong" accusation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jesus. Fuck.
Let's just get through this and move on. All right.
No, you're wrong. Let's not. No.
Fuck you guys.
What are you playing?
I finished the DLC for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good. Although I told
fucking
you
big.
my complaint is just that the traversal of the world is difficult in the DLC.
That's too lateral, right?
Yeah, and it's just not. It wasn't fun. That was like my biggest complaint about the DLC. And all 3 worlds had that problem. But the story was pretty cool. I was talking with gods and stuff. That was great. New armor for each thing.
I have a question about your navigation thing. You know, you were saying how it's just like a compass. And you look in a direction and you go.
Yeah. I forgot about a few things.
Oh, okay.
So yes, you have a compass at the top of your screen.
Yeah.
And it will point to like what direction you need to be looking to find your objective.
Okay.
But there's also icons on the actual screen of where your objective is.
Okay, because I was gonna say if it's really lateral, you're gonna get turned around because you're like rock
No,
climbing.
and like as you get closer, it'll then tell you, oh, it's up or it's down, or
Okay.
you're on a pretty much basic level with it.
Okay.
So, all right. But other than that, that's been playing Red Dead with you and Gears 5 with you. You don't look so great over there. Your allergies. Yeah. All right. The top of the stories for this week. So last week we talked about what was the guy's name from Sony? Jeez.
Sean Layden?
Sean Layden leaving.
I already forgot about.
Yeah, I know.
About him.
I know. That's sad. But we're also getting a senior Xbox executive leaving. This comes to us from GameSpot. Their vice president, Mike Ybarra, is leaving after 20 years.
Fun fact about Sean Layton: if he stands beside his own cardboard cutout, you can't tell the difference.
Thank you. The hell was that?
I think this is just an end of the console generation type of thing.
Oh yeah, people are just like, well,
I
I've done
think
my
it's just
job.
like this is a pretty good career because Jack Tretton, but he left after the PS4 launch, but it was still within.
He probably wanted to
era.
see. He probably wanted to end on a positive.
I
and
forgot.
then
I forgot about him too.
I
forgot
Jack
he
Tretton.
existed.
I liked him though.
Yeah, he was all right.
Who was the schleb before?
Jesus.
Oh,
Calling people schlebs.
The
Xbox guy,
the one
Phil
that
Spencer.
said this one that Xbox, the one that said Xbox One titles
Don Matrick?
offline should just be Xbox 360 titles.
Yeah,
Or-
Don Matrick,
Yeah, someone.
the former CEO of Zynga.
I thought he was still the CEO of Zynga. I thought he was
I
still
don't
there.
actually know. I thought he moved again.
I don't know what happened to him. No,
I'm gonna check the current CEO of Zynga right now.
but we're on basically the eve of another console generation.
I just want consoles to die
It doesn't matter to you. Why does it matter to you?
because I don't like consoles.
Just prejudice towards consoles.
Well, because for instance, the consoles have been the birthplace of this cross-play bullshit.
The exclusivity and stuff.
And the
yeah.
sooner they go, and I'm sure they're going to be fucking smart about it on the next one. But like, I have a Overwatch hero gallery, which is locked forever to PlayStation,
Yeah.
unless they all play ball and Blizzard stops publicly offending people. But I would love to be able to roll that over to PC, and that's why I was talking to somebody about an online game or somebody. I don't know if it was you or it was Aaron or it was somebody else. But they were talking about playing a game, and I said, if I play this game, I want to play it on PC. And they said, why? I'm like, because I don't want to lose my progress if this doesn't fucking roll over to PS5. At least on PC, I know this is perpetual.
Right. Well, yeah, that is possible with Overwatch too. Let's say PS5 comes out and Overwatch is on it for whatever reason.
But
Will my PS4 profile carry over?
yes, but
that's a question too, though. We don't know.
So for somebody like you, that might be good enough to say, oh, my Overwatch profile is going to carry over to my PS5. But for me, that's still not good enough. I not only want it to carry forward to my PS5, I wanted to carry over to my Blizzard account. I wanted to carry over to all my iterations of Overwatch.
Yeah.
Switch, Xbox, PC, or PS4.
That's more of a Blizzard thing though. At this point,
But here's the thing though, I have a feeling that Blizzard didn't implement it because they couldn't do it across the board. Why would they allow a hero?
no, yeah, but they could have. I mean, they might do it, but like it's also makes more sense if you're like, oh, if you're a big Overwatch fan, you might just buy double the loot boxes if you have to buy it on Xbox and PlayStation. So therefore, they're like, too bad. They're just skins.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
That makes sense financially, because at the end of the day, like the shit that you're getting out of those loot boxes / your profile are only a cosmetic.
I do feel like things are changing now, though, especially with Sony finally breaking down and allowing crossplay.
I like it because it would be difficult for them to double back on it. Now that they've moved forward, they can't. Like, they'd be fucking idiots to say, we're taking away cross.
Especially if the PS5 launches and those games originally support.
Yeah.
I would hope that all those launch day titles, if they have some sort of crossplay functionality, would support it to try to keep up the pressure on Sony to keep it.
I don't think they'll get rid of it.
No.
Because we thought they were going to announce this for the PS5.
Yeah, and that one guy did comment that he wants to be competitive with Xbox, and Sony's been making inroads to try to match what Xbox is offering.
Something happened with Sean Layden.
Do you think he was holding back?
Something I think either he was holding back or he wasn't. Like maybe he was the one that was like fighting for it, and then there was an internal conflict where they blamed him for holding it back or something, like some sort of internal office politics, and he was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Yeah. We may never know.
Probably won't ever know.
Until he writes a memoir or something in 20
Well,
years.
because it's not. I would say
He
it's
has
not
been
like
at Sony a long time, though, like since the 80s or something like that.
that's what I mean. So,
So-
like it would be that would give even more like evidence toward him possibly quitting, because he
Yeah.
might be like, "I've been here since the 80s, and you guys are blaming me. See you later."
Yeah.
What if he moves over to Gearbox and goes full crazy like the other guy?
Randy Pitchford?
Yeah. What if he's in the Randy Pitchford like secret circle?
Isn't that the guy who like
like-
tweeted like, "Why would you fuck me over like this?"
Oh, yeah.
Why would you fuck me like this?
Was that him?
Yeah, it was him.
Oh, man. that
because
was so
because
good.
because he was trying to defend that
loot
Gears
boxes or something like
that Borderlands 3 didn't have loot boxes or microtransactions.
Yeah.
And immediately after, Gearbox is like, no, like there are microtransactions, like there are in the game. He goes, why would you fuck me?
But he was complaining. He was complaining to the to the press, whatever website was that wrote that article that said Gearbox said there was loot boxes. He was yelling at the website, the publisher.
Oh,
Yeah,
either way, it's funny.
yeah.
A fucking debacle of a human being.
All right, Adriano, you've been waiting. How long has it been since Red Dead came out?
A
been a
little
year?
over a year.
You've been waiting a long time for Red Dead Redemption 2 on your PC. It's finally officially announced, and the specifications, we got them. So minimum, Windows 7.
Yeah,
Install.
just jump up to the recommended.
Windows 7.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
All right,
people
fine.
don't all have good
Sorry, go for it.
PCs, all right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, Matt.
Intel Core i5, 2500K,
Uh-huh.
or an AMD FX 6300, 8 gigs of RAM, a GeForce GTX 770,
That is surprising for minimum.
yeah,
That is good on them.
or a
I say.
Radeon R9 280, and 150 gigabytes of hard drive space. The recommended specifications: Windows 10,
Does it have a build number beside it? The
update to
1903?
V1803.
Oh, okay.
Are they on 1.9 or something?
They're like on 19 something, so I'm surprised that they're even rolling back that far.
Intel Core i7 4770K,
Okay, so I checked. Mine is that's
4770K.
Mine is 4790K, so it's
All
right.
right. AMD Ryzen 5 1500X,
Oh yeah,
12 gigs of memory.
I'm 16. I'm good.
NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060, 6
1070.
gigabytes.
I'm 1070 Ti, 8 gig.
You should be good there then. AMD Radeon RX 480 with 4 gigs and then 150 gigabytes hard drive space.
That's where I'm not good.
But you can easily clear that up.
Yeah.
So when does the dam break when you decide to upgrade
To upgrade.
your PC?
So probably what's going to happen is when I get my condo, I'm going to leave my PC behind
And just build a new one?
at my parents' place, and I'm going to let them. I'm going to let their electricity bill and their internet bill run my Plex. I'm literally just like they're not going to fucking know what it is. I'm literally going to build a little workstation in the crawl space, and they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm literally going to leave that there, and then I'm going to rebuild. I was, if I said 2019, I'd probably take the card out but what I might do is actually just buy the 2080. What I might do is actually take that, and then I could probably just sell the 1070 Ti.
You probably need a new CPU at this point, right?
Oh, but I know it would be a brand new build. It would literally be. I would literally just take my PC, move it downstairs. I'd give my monitor to my brother because he needs one for work, and then I'd go intern. I'd literally do the onboard video card, sell off my 1070, and then build brand new.
I was actually looking at the prices for the 2080 Ti, and they have come down. You can get some on sale for
Are
like
you gonna
$1,500.
buy one?
No, they're $1,500.
Yeah, I was
I'm not
gonna
going to
say.
do that. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm getting upgrade on my PC. It's become like a drug, Matt.
I'm about to say you're going crazy. Like,
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, don't wear out Matt around first quarter 2020 because I need Matt for it.
It only takes an afternoon to build a computer.
Huh?
It only takes an afternoon to build a computer if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I drag things out though.
How long is this? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like what are you gonna have me do then?
Like if we have
He
to
wants
do
full RGB, and he wants a fan
no
controller.
no.
RGB's easy enough.
No. I don't even need that. It's just like market research. Like that will have to. I'll need consulting on that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then just use like PC per picker to make sure you get the best price.
Yes.
That's basically what I did. I kind of did my own research, and then I asked Matt for like just some expertise. And then when we went to the store, I literally told the guy my budget for each part, and he went and found like a good piece.
Yeah, because sometimes sometimes it comes down to like you'll either go a bit higher than your budget because it'll be like normally it was $200, your budget's $150, but like this is $160. Do you want to just pay the extra $10? Yeah, okay. Stuff like that.
All right.
Like there's retail
Well,
gets
anyways,
mixed in.
Actually, when I budgeted my PC on PC Part Picker, I had a much weaker build than the one I actually ended up buying.
Because
And
it was good
for,
sales,
and it was
yeah.
for the same price.
Yeah, good sales.
Yeah.
How often do sales happen?
All
Like
the time.
constantly,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And Mem
So-
Express is now in Hamilton too.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So, but is the things of however long you think it should take, at least increase it by 60%.
the actual build itself is going to take like an afternoon.
Okay.
Like barring issues, of course. Like barring like, oh, this doesn't turn on, then we got to order a part. But
Can I
like,
be there for the build?
Sure.
It's exciting.
there you go.
So you can hold the light. You can hold the flashlight.
All right, and then we also have specs for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on the PC there.
Oh, sorry. Going back to Red Dead though, I
Yeah.
got a predicament though.
Oh, your Rockstar thing.
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
Yeah, so you're not playing that game.
No, I'm absolutely playing that game. Worst case, I'm just gonna because I the secondary username is not my preferred one, but I'll use it. I would like to have my primary one, and I'm convinced that I do have my primary one that I just can't get to. But I'll figure that out with some experimenting.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Jedi Fallen Order, minimum specs, Windows 7, 8.1 or 10. An AMD FX 6100 or equivalent, or a i3 3220 or equivalent, 8 gigs of RAM, Radeon HD 7750, or a GeForce GTX 650, and then 55 gigabytes of hard drive space. And the recommended specs are a Ryzen 7 1700 or equivalent, an i7 6700K, 16 gigs of memory. Now, this is where things get kind of tricky. They originally had said 32 gigs of memory.
What was the minimum and the recommended for the processor, the i5 and i7?
Minimum was i3.
i3 and then recommended is i7. Okay, so just the fact that there's a jump between the minimum i3 and the recommended is i7, that makes me think that they genuinely did a recommended 32 gig.
There's probably a big span of settings you can go through.
Exactly, and that's what it was. Is like it's because like if you look at the Red Dead, like it's the minimum was i5, the recommended was i7, but like it was still like a 4790. Like
i5
it was still,
and i7.
Yeah, but it was like a 4790.
It went from a 2500 to a 4770.
Exactly, but the recommended on Jedi and Fallen Knight is an i7 60 something, 67 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that is a huge, that's such a bigger range. So I imagine their 32 gig was intentional and it wasn't a typo.
Well, IGN had speculated that it might be for like one toggle you turn on that just needs that much RAM if you want it, and so they put that on there.
Because when I heard 32, that scared me.
But even
so
16 is maxing out most people's systems.
Yeah, but at least that is like right now it's minimum 8, recommended 32, like that, or sorry, recommended 16.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when they said recommended 32, it's like fuck, like it's like the market's like the hardware's inflating now. Like now is the like I just got my computer the way I wanted it, and now it's now it's going to go up again.
I'm just wondering though, like when they say recommended 16, does that mean they need a full 16 allocated to the game?
No.
So they just want that buffer in there?
Yeah, probably.
Like, could you still run Discord in the background?
Oh,
and also
yeah,
all your
absolutely.
game launchers.
That's what, because they also mentioned Windows 10 too. Like it's, they're keeping in mind like a general user.
Well, even the recommended says Windows 7, 8.1 or 10. Red Dead was the one that said they recommend Windows 10,
which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm surprised games are even supporting 8.1, and I actually forgot about 8 until you mentioned it. So.
I remember though when 8 came out, everyone's like, "Oh, this OS sucks," but then people are like, "It's good for gaming because you get 2 extra frames."
What?
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's because game mode came out on it or something, or maybe that was Windows 10. I can't remember now.
We should go back to Windows 7.
But you are right. We're going to get to a point where we need 64 gigs of RAM in our systems as like a default. The new Mac Pro can support 1.5 terabytes of RAM.
I mean, a few years ago, it was like some people still had like an average of 2.
Yeah,
I'm using a laptop right now that's got like I think 3 gigs of RAM.
that's horrible.
My
does its job.
tablet has 4, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. I use it for work.
Was your phone got 12?
My phone is 12. Yeah,
It has my the
that's a little fucking ridiculous.
yeah
actually.
the processor in my laptop that I use for my one job is an AMD A6.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what it is. Like it's probably just like a step above a mobile processor.
All right, we got some exciting PS5 news this week. So it's officially called PlayStation 5. I'm getting all these specs from GameSpot.
How long do you think they racked their brains about that one?
Probably
Do we
took them-
call it the V? Do we call it the 5?
They really should have done it like months ago when they had that other Wired article.
I can imagine just like a night in a boardroom, just pizza boxes, and they're trying to rack their brains.
1,000 names on a chalkboard. And
PlayStation
V. VII.
now PlayStation shelf.
So they said also the release date is going to be holiday 2020. I think a lot of people expected that. Didn't give us a price yet. I believe they said it was going to be like attractive or something like that. The PS5's price will be attractive to gamers. Are you laughing at that?
Yeah.
Fucking, what does that mean?
I can picture the face on the intern who had to write out that press release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they also confirmed apparently that the PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4 games, as the two consoles are built upon the similar internal architectures.
Good. What about PS3?
I mean, the PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility with PS3. You have to get PlayStation Now to stream those games.
They should just bolt a PS3 on the bottom of it. That's what
You could do that. Look how tiny the PS1 got. You know, you could probably shrink a PS3 down to a little tiny thing.
that's what my PS3 has a PS2 bolted onto the bottom. Like I literally have two consoles in one.
Yep. They also talked about the some of the stuff they're doing with the solid state drive now, where they said on an old mechanical drive you would have to duplicate assets so the drive could read it quicker, and load times would be reduced.
Well, it wasn't reading quicker. It just happened to be finding information. Like it just.
But no, they did that for efficiency because otherwise it would take longer to
Yeah,
load your
yeah.
game if it had to.
But it's not like increasing the speed, the read speed of the drive. The drive was just fumbling its way through information.
Correct, but it
Yeah.
had more access
Yeah.
to the information it needed. But the SSD, they said that eliminates that, and it can just load times are going to be pretty quick, which is exciting.
Does this mean that we're going to have slower load times than we'd expect, but more space left than we'd expect?
No, because they're faster drives. They're running like.
No, but like then we'd expect. I'm not saying it's not going to improve.
Wait, say that again.
But does that mean that we're going to have slower loading times than we'd expect from an SSD, but also be saving a lot more room than we'd expect?
Well, no, faster load times too, though.
Faster than it is now,
Correct.
but it's not as fast as
And room saving.
as it could be on an SSD if they did the random file thing. I don't know. I'm asking.
No, because I think that was a problem particular to the mechanical drives.
Okay.
Because the needle actually has to go
Yeah, it
and
has to
find
move
it.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. But they also did say it could lead to reduced game sizes as a whole. Or
That'd be great.
Or the developer is just going to fill it with more stuff. So you get a bigger game
Well, that's fine
or
too.
a smaller game. They talked about a new controller. They did not, however, say it's the DualShock 5, but it's going to have more of a haptic feedback type thing, which we've seen in the phones.
Oh, they're probably going to call it something else then.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer Rumble, right?
We've also seen it in the Nintendo Switch, where I think they call it like haptic 2.5 or something like that. But it's supposed to give you like more a wider range of vibrations than the typical Rumble gives you. And then they also had these controller or the triggers on it, which are supposed to the developers can change how much pressure it takes to pull the trigger. And they said that they can make it feel different to shoot a shotgun compared to an assault rifle.
Developers can choose that.
Yeah,
Or
the
we're-
resistance it can actually change depending on how the developer set it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Which is something that won't get used because the triggers, the Rumble and the triggers on Xbox don't get used.
But that's a little different though. That's not
Is it?
that's not a resistance thing.
No, it's not a resistance thing, but it's still something that they could tap into, and they're not.
But yeah, this is one of the things that it is unusual that
So if the game has me pulling a trigger, I'm assuming no resistance. The game has me pushing a box to like a platformer. Like they could on the fly change it mid game.
correct.
I imagine like a quick time event could be interesting with that. Like if you're locked in like a mono push, like one character against another,
Oh, and you gotta go like
and you as they're pushing against you, you could probably feel the resistance
pressure?
increase, and then as you're pushing forward, you can actually feel it ease off a little bit, almost like a breathe in, breathe out.
I'm just
system.
worried about the durability of that. Because
It's going to fucking break. Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Don't buy Wave 1, guys. Just let it.
because you know, in like, speaking of QuickTime events, when you have those scenes where you got to like mash square or whatever to get out of it, I think a lot of people mash it faster than it is actually required.
Yeah.
And so I think people are going to pull those triggers harder than it required.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely going to fucking break.
So
Unless it
that's-
has a thing where it detects like maximum pressure and it just gives up.
maybe, yeah. I do like the idea though of it shooting different depending on what kind of gun you're using.
That's interesting.
You know, and maybe even like give like a kickback almost if that's.
I think the
possible.
haptic is going to feel good.
Yeah, I hope so.
I don't know what do phones have haptic now, but do they also have a vibration motor, or is the vibration motor the haptic?
I think it's all switched over to haptic now, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
I don't
Not
actually
my
know.
phone. It's actually broken. I had to turn it off.
Do you even have haptic on that?
No, I should.
Is that a 6 or 6S?
Success.
Then you do have a haptic feedback on there.
Really?
That's what the 3D touch is.
Oh, fucking A.
Which is now gone. So
Yeah.
enjoy that.
I like the 3D.
I like it too.
Yeah.
They've replaced it via software.
So how do you do this with an app that
the same thing.
you just press and hold?
It's a long press, yeah.
Oh. All right.
And it will give you a vibration. It kind of feels like you're pressing a button.
It's
I like how that was the argument
vibration.
from Android the whole time was like, why don't you just do a long press? And they're like, no, this is better. And then
Well,
now they're just doing the long hold.
Because I would argue that it gave you more options to interact. You could just tap, you could tap and hold, and then you can tap and press.
You are correct. You're interested. You're inputting. You have another way of inputting.
Yeah. And what's funny what was funny is now I'm hearing from people saying that they liked 3D touch after it got taken away. It's
Well, I mean, because why would you bring it up before? Why would you bring it up before?
Well, because a lot of the press was saying, "Oh, 3D touch is useless. No one uses 3D touch." And then once it's gone, they're like, "Man, I miss having 3D touch." It's one of those things.
That's
where
really fucking stupid.
you don't know what you got until it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's a new controller. Going to have USB-C, I believe. It will support PSVR, and it will also have the high energy efficiency that we talked about. I think maybe last podcast, you and me, Matt. Where it's in standby, it will use a lot less power.
You know, I found what the PlayStation 4 does. If an app crashes and it sticks on the CE error screen, it I guess ignores the timeout feature and it doesn't go into standby.
Damn it.
Because I left my Plex app running. I guess it crashed. I woke up the next morning, realized it was on. I turned it on. It was just like the crash screen. I was just like, come on, like fucking just shut down. Like, well, you know.
I'll be blunt. The Plex app is pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's fucking bad.
The Plex apps on not only mobile and PlayStation, they have aired out on me 2 or 3 times in the last week, and it's actually quite disappointing. I'm just
They did that overhaul, and it just sucks.
I paid you guys several $100s. Why is this fucking happening?
It just sucks. I don't know.
We're getting an update to the PS5 UI as well, which will be probably a welcome change.
But you know what? It doesn't matter. Any UI that they
You don't think it's going to be good?
it's going to suck. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, let me tell you about this one. PlayStation 5's new user interface will allow you to see more details about friends' games without opening the applications themselves. Even though it will be fairly fast to boot games, says Cerny, we don't want the player to have to boot the game, see what's up, boot the game, see what's up. Multiplayer game servers will provide the console with a set of joinable activities in real time. Single-player games will provide information like what missions you could do and what rewards you might receive for completing them. And all of those choices will be visible in the UI. As a player, you just jump right into whatever you like. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's all neat in practice or in theory, and in practice, I think it's.
And then another thing I like is they also talked about how you can delete portions of the game. So Call of Duty is a big example. Some people play the campaign, some people play the multiplayer, some people play both. If you're one who plays both, you can download the whole game, and then when you're done with the campaign, you can delete it, but still have the multiplayer.
But here's the thing, though. I don't know why they can't do that now. Like, there's no restriction.
Well, I don't think they set up the games to be developed that way.
But the thing is, though, you can add on a pack, though, right? Like, you can add on a DLC pack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in theory, that DLC pack can be removed. So whatever you want to call it on the back end, like you are capable of tacking on packages.
Yeah, but there's some sketchiness though. Like you can't update a DLC on PlayStation. It's not allowed.
What do you mean?
You're not allowed to update a DLC. Fallout had a really serious problem with their Far Harbor DLC, where it was like really laggy, specifically on PS4. And to fix it, they told everyone to erase the add-on, which you can do piecemeal, and then to re-download. And they said that it was because they were unable to update it. They were not allowed to. Like they had to change some textures or something. I'm not sure what they changed.
Did that have to do with that, like where they charge them for updates or something?
I'm not sure. No, but they did.
Bethesda simply didn't want to pay for the update?
Well, if I remember correctly, and if I read it correctly, it said that they don't allow an update to it.
Like there are the PlayStation's capable of handling like almost like a weird launcher to launch 2 separate games. Like Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and Borderlands 2 are 2 separate games on the PlayStation, and it knows that. But you launch one icon, which takes you to a launch screen, then launches you into whatever game. And then you can also back out and go to the other one. So it's like clearly the PlayStation 4 is capable of handling multi games in one package.
It might be how
so
they.
It's like why is this why are they incapable of doing this now?
It might be how they package it for the store. Like they tell devs you have to package it this way so we can inspect it.
Yeah, I just that feature
Well,
of like
you can currently choose which to download first. If I buy Call of Duty, I can say download the multiplayer first.
but you have to download everything.
It downloads everything.
Yeah,
though, yeah.
I just like seeing that the fact that you can download one and then it will download the other.
Yeah.
The fact that you have a launcher, you can launch 2 games, and you can bolt on stuff. Like
Well-
to me, like I don't see a reason why a PS4 can't do that now.
Maybe it can, but this is probably just a marketing thing to say the PS5 can do this. But they probably always could. All right, the last story, bit of a controversial one. Hearthstone Pro was banned over his Hong Kong protest.
Here we go.
See what happens, Matt.
What?
You join the Hong Kong police, you start beating some protesters. Look what happens.
This is from GameSpot. Activision
Jesus.
Blizzard banned a professional Hearthstone player from competitive events and rescinded his winnings after he voiced support for pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. The decision has led to sharp criticism from some in the community, including calls for a boycott.
Yeah.
So CBS News reported that Ning Wei Chung, a.k.a. Blitz Chung, was conducting a post-match interview when he shouted, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our times." Blizzard found this was in violation of its Hearthstone Grandmasters competition rules and indicated the offending rule. And quote, "Engaging in any act that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image, will result in a removal from Grandmasters and reduction of the player's prize total to $0."
Did I bring a Cliff Bar with me tonight?
I never saw one.
Oh, maybe he's in the car. Yeah, that's something.
So your problem was, if I understand you correctly, that he was already given the money
So that's
or
that
rewarded the money.
No, that's what I'm trying to figure out, and I can't find
don't know
any,
for sure.
and I can't find any clarification on this because they're saying his already
He won the competition.
He won the competition.
He won the money.
He won the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was given the money, and I'm wondering if it happened after his winning before they gave him the money, or if they gave him the money and they did some Chinese government bullshit just went into his bank account and took it out, which would not fucking surprise me whatsoever. And that I'm trying to find clarification on that, and I can't seem to figure that out. Because that is the one thing that would just
Yeah, that is kind of a different thing.
Yeah.
Taking the money away from you or just not giving you it.
it's the whole thing's bullshit to begin with. But it would just be like if regardless we're not even going to ask for it back. We're just going to go into your bank account and take it away.
There is one thing I wanted to note here. Just let me see if I can bring it up again. They are getting actual criticism from like U.S. senators though as well. I think Marco Rubio was on that list.
Yeah,
Water
bottle guy.
Yeah, but it was something about, I think Activision Blizzard is partially owned by Tencent. If I have that correct.
The mess that is Tencent.
Well, that's a Chinese company though.
Yeah,
right?
but they
Okay,
own
yeah,
they
this
own
is-
fucking parts of everything. Like they somehow they have companies that are direct competition with each other. Like they have their fingers in everything.
Yeah.
Don't
Well-
they own a bunch of Epic?
Yeah.
Which is funny because Epic spoke out against
Yeah.
Blizzard's actions here.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is in the GameSpot article. Activision Blizzard is partly owned by Chinese company Tencent. The company also noted that the 2 hosts were fired.
Yes, which is
That's
Fucking-
bizarre. It's like some dude screams something. You're like, dude, shut up, and then it's like, nope.
okay.
you're
So
fired.
so I admittedly I have not watched that broadcast. They were I don't know if they
Like supported him or something?
enticed him to say anything about that.
Oh,
So here's the thing. A guy wants to say something political on camera, and you have a policy against it. I'm a firm believer in saying, however unjust you may find my policy, if that's a policy I set out and you agree to do it, and you are executing something, you are violating that policy.
yes,
I absolutely agree if Blizzard wanted to punish him in some form or another for saying something. Give him a slap on the wrist, make him just tweet out a somewhat clarification saying that, these are my views and not Blizzard, blah, blah, blah. Like that part I would fully endorse. But no, you did almost like a year and a half ban, like just before 2021, he's not allowed to play. And you took away his fucking money.
How much money are we
The
talking?
conservative in you
10
match should be
10,000.
fucking raging.
10,000.
The conservative in you match should be raging.
I don't know how to feel about this because if they had a clear policy, it's one of those things where it's like, should he expect to be paid?
Yeah, no, but here's the thing though. Like nowhere in their policy is
'Cause
there.
I have
is
a
there,
feeling that
is there
this is-
are there punishments outlined though? Like there's nothing to say.
Well, no, it does. It says that Blizzard, if you damage Blizzard's image, it will result in removal from Grandmasters and reduction of the player's prize total to $0.
Yes, but their thing is though damage Blizzard's image. Like to me, it's like you should be going before a judge in a court and arguing slander. But they're not. It's just a very draconian.
Well,
it's like
no, but it's
you
not,
spoke out.
It's
We're
not,
just going
it's
to
not
do
slander
this.
though. You can damage the engine, damage the image outside of slander.
Yeah. But like to me though, that should be determined in a court with a mediator, not just at the assumption
Well, I
of
mean,
a.
he's
company.
open-
I get the
open-
feeling that it's because people are on the side of the protesters in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know
Yeah.
anything about the situation. I'm not getting into that. But like the point,
We have to
the thing is
rewind
just-
to 1890.
No, but like if we say that he yelled something else out, like I don't know, just something else that wasn't controversial and it was against a policy and had his winnings rescinded, would we have a boycott in our hands? I think that's more or less what we should boil this down to.
Here's a funny thing, though. At the Blizzard headquarters, they have like this monument with all these values written in stone around the monument.
It's fucking hilarious.
And a couple of the values say, think globally and every voice matters. And so employees went out and covered it up.
and you can tell it's an employee because it's three-hole punch
lined
binder paper. It's like clearly they just
some
took it off the
Scotch
shelf. Yeah. It's like this is off the supply shelf.
Yeah.
That's what I love
So
about
it's
it.
horribly ironic.
So that all happened. People started freaking the fuck out. Blizzard subreddit got quickly closed. How much of this do you know, Matt?
I know nothing.
Okay, so Blizzard subreddit, and I like
Well, I heard their subreddit went down from the amount of people.
is the subreddit
just
went
going
down,
on
and then they locked it out. Okay, they and it's weird because Ryan, Marty, and I were messaging back and forth about this, and this kind of just like it unraveled in a day and a half, and it just kept on just plummeting. So then subreddits started closing. People started closing accounts in the masses. They started doing mass refunds for Blizzard titles through Battle.net.
Jesus.
Yeah. Got to the point where Blizzard even stopped. They circumvent. I don't want to say they completely disabled, but they definitely circumvented. They made it next to impossible to delete your Blizzard account. And the way they did that was they temporarily disabled two-step authentication for Europe accounts, which is required to delete your Blizzard account. And there people were quick to point out on the subreddit that that's actually illegal in Europe. You're not allowed to do that.
What the hell is going on?
So this has created quite a shitstorm.
What's weird
it's
is,
put a bad
like,
taste
is like
in-
that's not even damage control. That's just like they should have just let everyone delete their accounts.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
fucking
it's
stupid,
Like
like-
they're way like it's way past damage. Like it's just how do we just stay alive at this point?
It kind of sounds like Blizzard is like trying to be as arrogant as Rockstar.
I think they're trying to protect their hide.
Yeah,
China's
But if
a
they-
big market for them.
If they're trying to protect their
And-
hide, then
and-
you just ban the guy, leave the winnings, and even like lesser the ban. And
That's
just be
what I
like,
think Adrian was saying. Like, give him a slap on the wrist
Yeah.
and then just let it go.
like just damage control it, but
And I
don't
don't
start
think-
doing this shit with 2-factor
Yeah.
and all this other crap.
And I don't think. Well, I don't know.
Like because that
We're not in that position, right? It's impossible. It's easy to say on the outside when you don't have to make the decisions. But this is a big I would think $billion company who has a lot of ties to China and don't want to piss off the Chinese government. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? And they don't know what actions the Chinese government might take against them if they let this guy go unpunished. And so it's easy for us to say without having any ramifications what we would do.
but it's also like people are now testing the waters
Yeah.
and immediate follow ups to other Hearthstone broadcasts. As a player was winning or losing, I think he lost, whatever. But he just immediately flashed into his camera. like support, like Liberate Hong Kong, support Hong Kong protesters, whatever, and Hearthstone immediately cut away. Like they're just not allowing it. So
I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm saying that it's strange damage control to try to prevent people from deleting their accounts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they need to. I think if they want to stay on the side of the Chinese government, they have to deal with the fallout of it. You can't like. In this case, it sounds like it might have actually been illegal. Illegally do it, or just like that's just a stupid thing to do. That'd be like if people were boycotting Facebook, like they were for a while or whatever, and want to delete their accounts, and then Facebook just deletes the delete account button.
Right.
It's like, well, you can't delete your account. Too bad.
It looks bad, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks worse than.
Like they essentially what they did in Europe with that two-step thing is they're violating European Union telecommunication laws.
Although, you know what?
From what I could tell.
When I set up my BlackBerry account when we were using BBM,
What the fuck?
there's no way to delete it.
I think you can.
There probably is. There's probably not a way to do it digitally.
You do it
Chances
online.
are you have to call them to probably do it.
At least when I first set up my BBM account, I remember even texting you saying that.
I hate
Shut
Siri
up.
so much.
Siri,
I'm a
you-
big blood.
Your stuff
Bitch.
goes off all the time
Yeah,
at
I
your
know.
house.
Yeah.
So don't be complaining about Siri only.
I will because she's expensive and dumb.
Yeah.
Regardless, there was no way to delete it, and I kept an email that allowed me to rescind my original sign up, just in case.
Well, there you go. Then you did it.
But no, that's an only one-time thing.
Oh, I have no idea. I can't remember.
You can't delete your Skype name if you close your account.
It's just like locked to me forever, or what?
So it's still there and still searchable. So if you delete your Skype account, it's still like in the ether for anyone to search up, and they could find you, and they try to contact you, whatever. It just does nothing. Skype says once you delete your account, they say wait about like 2 to 3 business days or whatever. Contact them, tell them which one, and they go in and they scrub it out.
Oh, jeez.
It's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what happened was because I had a Gmail Skype account, and then when I just had one because of Outlook and Microsoft, I then had 2, and I had to close my Gmail. I said scrub that, which was a pain in the ass.
I'm getting frustrated with some accounts where I can't change my email.
I never
weird
had
ones,
that.
Weird ones too, like Best Buy.
They don't let you change your email?
I could not find. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right spot, but I could not find where I could change my Best Buy email.
See, I've never had an issue where I can't.
What account do you have with Best Buy?
Just a normal account. Like when you
For
check
what?
out, you can save your account so you can
Yeah.
check out using your
So it's,
same
so it's
shipping
one of them.
address.
I didn't know if it was like a reward zone or something.
Reward
I
Zone
think
got
you
discontinued.
can, but-
Reward Zone got discontinued, but that was a separate account. You literally
Oh.
made 2 separate accounts, and then you want to hear the debacle of Canadian Tire accounts?
Oh, here we go.
Look at this. So I have a CanadianTire.ca account for shopping. I have a Triangle Rewards account, and I have my CTFS, which is my Triangle's Mastercard. 3 separate accounts. They're all tied to each other on the back end, but each one has different password requirements. Anyways, go back to Hong Kong. So last it is Blizzard's pretty fucking silent on this.
They're probably just gonna wait for the storm to die
That's
down.
probably-
Right?
They should have just shut up, not done the 2-factor thing, and just been like, okay,
Yeah,
so-
just start
too
doing
bad.
it.
Or damage control normally, like lessening the sentence.
I wonder how strict China would get on that too.
I don't think they. I don't. That's what I mean. Is like I don't think they're gonna get pissed off about some random thing.
Like were they maybe acting a little too scared?
And now
you know.
now they've drawn attention to it.
Yeah, may have backfired on them.
I don't know. China's pretty rough or pretty drastic
They
with,
are.
with their punishments.
You're correct.
Yeah.
but I'm just
Fucking
wondering.
Winnie the Pooh's not allowed at all in China.
Right. They don't like ghost stuff apparently either, and yet the Star Wars is played there, and they have Force ghosts.
Yeah, fucking weird. So there's that. They it's kind of just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth about Blizzard.
Yeah.
it's just the like Blizzard has Blizzard 20 years ago is different from Blizzard 5 years ago, and it's different today. You before the show, you and Marty you said that you and Marty
We're just not going to play Overwatch until
yeah
we feel comfortable.
And like for me, I don't feel right playing any of that stuff. And for me, Hearthstone, I've already started even before this thing. I've already started to phase Hearthstone out. Like it got to the point where I was just bored and dull with it, and this just further exacerbates that. Luckily I am enjoying and I am finding solace in Magic the Gathering. So I think I'm going to. So I'm not off Blizzard stuff completely.
You were trying to wane yourself off anyway.
I would like to be. That's a problem. Is there has to be a period. But I do want to.
If that new Diablo comes out, though.
So here's this is what I'm really fucking
But
curious about.
the Immortal, you mean?
All right.
They should have released that. They should release that right now. Yeah.
BlizzCon's coming up too.
That's
right?
what I was about to say. Is I am fucking intrigued. I am so curious to see how this goes over.
Yeah.
Because they got shit on last year for announcing a mobile game. All right. This year they violated human rights. Like this is. I want to see what people are.
I don't know if they violated human rights.
Well-
if they had a policy that was already in there. I don't know if I could go that far to say that.
They're-
But as Westerners, as free Westerners,
Yeah.
we're siding for freedom and free speech. This guy was speaking his mind and speaking freely, and so
And
If
I-
Apple had this policy, they implemented
Again,
it today, would you then drop all Apple products?
I wouldn't drop all Apple products.
So
but
then,
it's,
like,
it's
it's
easier
not that
for me.
severe.
It's easier for me not to play Overwatch.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but like, would you say like, oh, the no more HomePod?
No,
And
no.
Apple has deleted a app that allows
Yeah.
people to track.
I read that
the
today.
police in Hong Kong.
So they're against the Hong Kong protesters. I'm
Right.
not sure what that means.
So here's the thing, though.
I'm not really sure of the
No.
situation,
So,
so, like-
so the thing though with that app though is apparently that app though was denied originally.
Right.
It probably didn't meet some sort of requirements. Then it's not.
I don't think you should have an app that tracks police anyway in any country. That seems weird.
I don't have.
Yeah, that does seem a little strange.
On the basis of just tracking.
Oh, you just use the Tim Hortons app.
Fuck. God damn it.
on the simple premise of using technology to track enforcement officers,
Yeah.
I'm not natively against that.
It's weird though, right?
It's weird, but like it'd be no different than me watching a live stream of protesters and protesters saying, "All right, we got police marching down here," and then somebody else is coordinating down there on the
Yes,
live stream.
yes.
Like if you're using technology in one way, all they're doing is just making it efficient.
Yes.
So, but with this app, though, it sounds like it wasn't supposed to make its way into the marketplace, and then made its way into the marketplace, and then Apple just exercised its right to remove it, and then it just looks kind of weird.
The timing is.
but I
is
guess
bad.
people shitstorm on Blizzard is more important.
But
than that.
also, as well as Apple operating as an entity in China, they have to abide by their laws as well.
yeah,
And so, if they outlaw those types of apps, Apple has to abide.
yeah.
But this was a Blizzard policy, and
So also the Hong Kong protesters have also adopted, because what happens is popular symbols that are used in opposition of the Chinese government tend to get banned in China. So they started to use May as a symbol of the Hong Kong protesters, in hopes that May will either be banned from or we have to be removed from Overwatch, or Overwatch in general just gets banned from China, which I would find fucking hilarious. It would just be the
So-
biggest middle finger. It'd be
I
so
wonder if
good.
Blizzard's gonna have to shut down. I wonder if they're gonna get
I
killed.
don't-
Activision has too much money. I don't think Blizzard.
No, but like Activision might just be like, we have to cull this herd and we have to kill.
No,
kill
that-
this-
no,
It's
rarely
not,
happens,
Yeah,
man.
it's not.
But
Gonna
like,
happen.
what does Blizzard have now that makes them a bunch of money? Overwatch. Hang on, a minute, Overwatch.
Oh, I'll answer that right now. You know what they have that makes them a lot of money?
What?
And what caused this whole thing? The Chinese market. That's as long as they
No, okay,
they can piss
but-
off the rest of the world. As long as they still have that market, which causes the whole thing, they don't give a
Well, we're
fuck.
that's
talking
probably
about-
why they caved to
Exactly.
pressure, yeah.
That's exactly what
We're
it
talking
was.
about the potential of them being banned. If they get banned, if Overwatch gets banned in China, how?
They wouldn't fucking let Overwatch get banned. They would just remove May before they let Overwatch get banned.
Yeah.
Like that is the drastic step that they would take.
But would the government really get that involved and be like, we're banning Overwatch, and they're like,
Fuck
wait,
yeah, they would.
Wait, we'll like
Fuck.
remove May, like,
Fuck
are they really
yeah,
gonna
they
care that
absolutely
that
would.
much?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember my Winnie the Pooh comment that I said earlier?
Yeah.
I'll show you a South Park episode afterwards. That perfectly summarizes this whole thing.
All right, that's it. That's all we got. Unless you want to talk about Captain America again.
Hashtag not my cat.
Oh my Christ.
Me and Matt stream at twitch.tv/DayOnePatchMedia. Most Wednesdays.
Yeah.
We're making our way through the Gears franchise right now.
The Gears.
Although we didn't start at 1, we started at the end of 2, and then played 3.
Well, we just kind of stream whatever anyway.
yeah, that's fine.
Hashtag variety streamer.
Yeah. And thanks for listening. And you can please like and subscribe.
There won't be an episode next week since we are.
Yeah, we're gonna be away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Away. Away.
See ya.
Peace.